Okay, as I normally post my stuff at random times a day, I don't ever expect anybody to ever uh, be there. So, anyways, I just wanted to make some statements on this Coinbase issue, and that is, that I think this going public was a bad thing. In the crypto world, it's created for a certain reason, and that is to be separated from the financial powers that be and to be its own um, base currency instead of the fiat currency we have now. And now with Coinbase going public, they have just joined hands with the powers that be in the fiat currency, as far as I'm concerned, because now they're bound by conditions. It's a legal term. Uh, Often lawyers are bound by certain laws. So when a lawyer says to you, "Oh, I can get you free from this, I can get you free from that," he's saying, all I can do is utilize existing law to get you out of this. That's it. He's bound by the conditions. He's bound to follow those laws. And really the books and the law books that only he understands. Maybe he can't even go back and understand past precedents for those laws, depending on what kind of lawyer you got. So they're always looking to do a plea deal. They're always looking to do whatever, right? So Coinbase going public will now make them bound by conditions within the financial system, which is totally against what what the whole Bitcoin revolution and cryptocurrency revolution was all about. In my opinion, it just seems stupid. So with Bitcoin, you want to have your own keys, so keep those. But I have money with Coinbase, substantial amount of money, and I bought Ethereum, Litecoin, Ethereum Classic. I have about 20 different cryptocurrencies out there. What Max Kaiser called shitcoins, which is fine. Um, my 98% of my holdings are all in Bitcoin. So, but I'm going to be taking out some of my money from Coinbase, I think, or just keep what I got in there and just start investing through other platforms. Because I'm not. I don't know. I don't know about you. If you guys buy through Coinbase and maybe your whole outlook on crypto is different than mine, but mine is to be separate from the fiat currency that exists right now. And I just see that as they're just joining hand in hand with the system, and really making it easier for a lot of us to get screwed, because the government's here pretty soon. They're spending so much money, and they see the crypto market gaining so much. Like, if you bought a coin for 3,500, like I did, bought a few of them, and now they're over 60 some thousand, they're going to tax the crap out of us for the money we made. So they're basically going to tax us so much that maybe we might even get the 3,500 we started with. You see what I'm saying? And I don't like that. I don't like where that's going, and that's what's probably going to happen next. It's going to be their way, the Federal Reserve's way, the money misers that are out there, their way to get within the system to really just screw everybody, and probably create a crypto tax or something like that, which will probably be around 90% of your earnings or your profit, whatever. So they're already starting to do that with other investments. They want to know what you paid for that stock when you bought it, what the stock is currently worth, and it's just getting to the point where I tried to explain to people a long time ago when I wrote papers in 2014, saying that you would see changes within our financial system, within the world economics, within a lot of different things, certain numbers came to play, meaning Right now, every citizen of the United States is so-called owed to the Federal Reserve via the debt, right? National debt. It's around 78,000 or 82,000, something like that. I think every taxpayer is 170 or something. It could be more now. I don't know. I can't remember. I know that I wrote in 2014, I said something drastic would happen within our markets, financial markets, personal liberties, once our debt per citizen was at 72,000. So if you go back and you see when we hit 72,000, that's when the whole CV thing happened, right? And that was when the whole shutdown began. Actually, it began around 74,000, 76,000. You can go back to some of my old videos and see where I always focus on the national debt clock and how that's the ruler of all things. So just saying, I think this deal with Coinbase was a bad deal, and it really shows their true colors on who they are and what they were and what their whole process was. It was to create something and then just turn around and sell it, because now nobody owns it except for the shareholders. And it's easy for somebody to come in and buy a majority share, then do with it as they will. That's just the way it is. When you're a private company, it's very hard for anybody else to come in and do and change your intent of the company when you started it. But that's what people do. You know? That's what they do. Anyways, I don't know what else is going on. Anybody have anything? Let's see. I'm heading out of California here tomorrow. Going to Arizona possibly. And we'll see what happens. Hey, doggy. Little dog down there. His name is Chewy. Chewy. Anyways, that's it. Oh, here's another thing I want to let everybody know. This is just very interesting to me how this worked out. So today I took my daughter, she wanted to go bowling, and I'm in California. I'm in Irvine, California. And she wanted to go bowling, and I was willing to wear a mask to go with my daughter bowling. And this would have been the first time that I'd ever put a mask on my face since this whole thing happened. And guess what? We went to this bowling alley. We walked in. I don't know who's dinging me now, but I'm not going to pay attention to it. We walked in this bowling alley. My daughter gave me a mask. I didn't put it on. She just handed it to me just in case I needed it. So I took it in there with me. And we walked in there. And there's a bunch of old people there, and nobody really had a mask on, nothing, you know. And the guy at the counter, he was masked up, and I went up to the counter. He didn't say one word to me. He says, how many games do you want to play? How long do you want to play? And I told him, well, let's play for an hour or so. He said, okay, all right. He said, you need shoes? I said, okay, yeah, we need shoes. He gave us the shoes. I gave him the money. He goes, all right, go over there. It's like, I didn't have to put on a mask at all, and no one said anything. We're in a bowling alley in Irvine, California. It was cool. I told my daughter, I says, see, maybe it is God's will that I never put a mask on. I've never had a situation. I've had a few people get upset with me. I've had a few people not allow me into stores. I was kicked out of one store last year, but nothing really. I mean, I've gone into Walmart's, not wearing masks. No one said anything to me. You know, all that stuff. And I thought for sure here in California, going to a bowling alley, doing bowling with my daughter for almost an hour and a half, really. That's what we played. So, and nothing. So it's like, great, cool. I didn't have to conform, I guess, as some people say. I will not conform, nor will I consent. I didn't even have to say that crap. I just walked through there. Nothing. Didn't have to put on anything. But I'm leaving Cali tomorrow in the morning and heading back. I might do a meeting in Arizona. I don't know quite yet. My trying to get a hold of Alice Cooper has been unsuccessful. It's kind of actually pissing me off a little bit. But I don't know. You know, I'm not in the game that I once was. I was going to meet with Leon Hendricks, but he's about an hour and a half away, and it's kind of like I don't want to be driving out, and I'm just not a big uh, need to go to Hollywood type guy because he lives in Hollywood. I spent so much time there in the 90s that it's just kind of, and even in the 2000s, I just kind of like, um, I just hate it there. It's amazing. I know. Well, I know it's all stupid. It's all purposely driven. It's to create a mindset and an enslavement mentality on people, and see who. It really, I think, was an aspect of finding who's who. They wanted to see who the Shadrach, Meshachs, and Abednegos are, so they can take us out. That's why. The sheeple they don't care about. People that do whatever they're told, that's they don't care about them. They wanted to purposely find the people who said no, and that was the first step. Second step is the vaccine. They want to find the people who say no, so they, you know, narrow the funnel to get get those people that they want to say are problematic. I guess I don't know. But other than that, that's about it for me here. Like I said, I was going to meet Leon. I was going to meet up with him. We talked this morning, but it's kind of like, you know, I don't want to go to Hollywood. So it's not worth my time to waste. And I can do things with him. Well, I can't do really anything with him through online because he has no clue on how to do anything. But I will figure something out. So, anyways, what else is going on? Anything else going on? You see my post earlier about the Suez Canal. I think it was a Monograph or whatever. He posted something on Twitter in regards to some, I don't know, they're a foreign country doing some, the reporters, news anchors from a foreign country, talking about the Suez Canal and the Evergreen Boat Company and the stuff that was on there and this, that, and the other, and which is interesting because I believe I've told people that March 22nd was a date to see things beginning, you know, because that's what happened last year in 2020. Things began just, like I said, 7 days prior to 22nd, 7 days after. Those are going to set the gameplay for the entire year. That's when we got the corona stuff going on, the lockdowns, this, that, and the other. But there's something, obviously, I think, with that boat, and they were mentioning that there were things on the boat or what have you, and the boat, I think, is still being held. They want 900 billion, something like that. 900 million? Yeah, 900 million. Anyways. Of course, Biden now is pushing war with Russia only because China is now pushing war with Taiwan. So he's playing the card. He wants you to look here, but he's doing something over here, which is typical Biden because he'd like to reach around, you know, and grab something on a little boy or girl over here while he's whispering in his ear something else. You know, the guy's a freaking snake. So I'd be highly suspicious on what's going on right now. But I don't think Putin's going to play around. He ain't going to play around. Their issue in regards to the Ukraine has been issues for a long time. I can tell you that the governments of the Ukraine have been very corrupt. Obviously, they worked with Biden's son and were giving him billions of dollars for him to do nothing. And I think since Biden's got in, Putin and a lot of people, they kind of know it. and they're ready to go toe to toe. But I'm telling you, Biden's only reason to focus on Russia right now is because China. See, you got to remember, Biden's son is heavily involved not only into the Ukraine, but also China. So they're compromised. They are so compromised. It's just pathetic. But like I also said, I said wait until the what is it, the 20th or the 21st. Something's going to happen. Something's going to also happen. And who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? But anyways, but something. Just keep your eyes open after the 20th. Yeah, it's all theater, but um, it's all theater. But I don't believe any of it. I've been over to these countries. I've met a lot of these people. So I'm kind of biased on certain things. It's like when you've met leaders of countries personally, and I've been able to kind of read them as a person, not as a political figure or what the narrative's been set by the powers that be as far as the news organizations. And this is in regard to Putin. So it's kind of like I kind of view. I make my opinions on the first meetings. It's like my friends Henry Hill and all these other people I've known that many people thought were bad or they didn't like them or whatever. I still base my opinions on the people from when I first met them, and that I didn't have any weird feelings about the people. And I'm pretty intuitive when it comes to that. Yeah, they all profit off of war. Yeah. I don't know. I like Putin. I mean, I like him. I don't like him, but at least he doesn't hide his faith. He's not afraid to share his faith, even though he's an Orthodox Christian. And of course, you have a lot of people out there that will, my religion's right. I'm not talking about religion. I'm just talking within the Christian community. Baptists are all right. Lutherans are all right. Seventh-day Adventists are all right. Then Catholics come up. Oh, we are the chosen ones. All this kind of crap. So I don't listen to any of it. I know that he's Orthodox Russian. I'm not into that. That's not my thing. But still, he's into something. And he's talked about repentance and forgiveness and baptism. So he's got my ears pierced, or not pierced, but perked. Don't have pierced ears. Anyway, my ears are perked. They're pretty perked anyways. They're pretty, yeah, he's my son's in Uzbekistan. I guess he's going to be there for 3 months now. They've extended his visa, and there's some COVID things going on, I guess, for travel. So he's just staying there in Fergana, Uzbekistan. As long as he keeps his nose clean, he'll be all right. But they don't play around in that country. Uzbekistan, I guess it's better now than what it was when I was there. But the corruption isn't as bad from when I was actually working out of Uzbekistan, when there was really bad corruption going on, so they said. I never dealt with it, but that's why I take all this stuff with a grain of salt. Every time I listen to these people, I'm going, well, maybe so, but my personal, I did business with that country. I was there. I worked with people. I didn't have any problems. I had more problems within my own country than I had in other countries. I never had a problem with Moscow. I never had a problem in Russia. Never had a problem in Georgia. Even when Georgia and Russia were going at each other, supposedly, I didn't have a problem with them. I had more problems with the United States, always trying to hold back certain documents. You can look me up in Forbes article. You can read all about that stuff. Phytosanitary certs and how it's the first company to get that, and I was the first guy to do that. Nobody could figure out how I did it, but I did it. So anyway. Anything else going on? Anyways. It used to be where the U.S. could not legally engage in propaganda upon its citizens. I can't remember when they got rid of that. I think that was either Trump or not Trump, excuse me. Either George Bush, the kid, or it was it 2012? That would have been George Bush. Oh, was it Barry? Oh, well, he's well, yeah, 2012 would have been Obama. Yeah. Well, it figures. He really really created a whole tsunami of issues. So he brought the whole gay agenda with him. Of course, him and his man wife. You know, one of these days it will come out. It's not. Yeah, I don't think it's the law now to bid use propaganda on your own people. Bus? What are you talking? On my dad's bus? Yeah. I gotta find a place to put that and then start it, because that's gonna be probably a 6-month project, maybe. Maybe not, but maybe not. Maybe it'll only take me a few months, but I gotta find a piece of land to put it on. So I just have to find out where I want to take it. So I'm just waiting on that. I have to go into Florida. My dad has a piece of land there. That's a cool bus, man. Are they 1964 flexible? You know, I totally got it. It's got a brand new motor, transmission, everything. Everything as far as the running gear on it is like brand new. It's just the interior that needs to be totally gutted. Yeah. Well, we're being propaganda this year is like hardcore. At least starting last year with a frickin' what's his name, Fauci. He's the biggest propaganda guy out there. And then he got everyone that's in Congress and all the senators. They've all sold their soul to the highest bidder. And the one that has all the money is the one that created that to enslave people to begin with, and that would be old Satan, as the church lady would say. That's an old SNL reference, by the way. Nobody knows that anymore. Yeah, it seems like they've been in a perpetual state of extensions. They're taking a lot of extends pills, you know, those little blue pills. Even though that's not legal. But they don't care. Nobody cares. There's no judges that want to read the color of the law or the rule of the law. They want to create their own law and have their own opinion or how they see it. What is could be anything. Then you become playing with words. They like to play with words. So same thing Satan did in the garden. Did God surely say? Did he really say that when you eat this, you will surely die? Well, no, they didn't really die that day, did they? But they didn't live to be past 1,000 years old, did they? A day with the Lord is 1,000 years, 1,000 years is a day. So no, they did not live that day. And 1,000 years is also the time of a millennium. That will be the day we spend with Jesus. So, yeah. And legally, and here's the thing with all this stuff, even with our own within our own government, creating laws to get them out of their own thing is what you're saying, um, exempting themselves. Uh, the thing is, unless they strike the prior law, which are the old foundational laws, those don't even apply anyways. So, but they bury them so far down in the mud that there are very few people that are going to um, dig that deep. They don't have that much money to dig that deep, to dig up the old laws that supersede all the new laws that they've tried to create and put upon it. Yeah. That's why I'm big into baptism. Baptism is the oldest law in the world. So it's the oldest law that gives man his freedom, is baptism. And it's the oldest law known to mankind. And that law cannot be changed. They can create more laws over it, but in reality that law still stands and it will always stand. This is just how it is. You can't stop time. You're not going to stop the sun. So, unless you're Joshua and God allows it. But anyways. Almond Bundy, I've tried to reach out to that guy numerous times because he's always crying about the legalities, and he's fighting, and it doesn't matter what he does, they're always fighting, they're always coming against him. Okay, I tried to explain to him that he needs to keep his mouth shut when he goes into court and say only certain words like, I am a baptized, born again child of God. Anything that you have against me, you need to take to the Father. That's all he needs to say. And if he would say those things, if he would make those things publicly known, that he might see a miracle. I'm not saying he wouldn't see a miracle, but his situation that he's dealing with now, if he would say that, things would change for him. And I've tried to reach out to him directly and say, look, dude, and I just can't get a hold of him. There's, seems like some people don't want to return my calls, but it's like, what's it going to hurt you? What is it going to change for you not to do what I'm telling you to do? Why don't you be that man who's in court that has all eyes on him right now? Why don't you just do what I tell you to do? Don't go in there like whatever it is that you think that you have. You have to go back to the oldest law that is ever been written, and the oldest law known to man. Yeah. But Mr. Bundy, he needs to do that. Other than that, he's just in a no-win situation, because no matter what legal system he has, doesn't matter. They don't want to listen. So you have to take yourself out of the battle. And once you say you're baptized, born again, child of God, you now take yourself out of that battle, and you allow God to fight that battle for you. There's a guy that was here, he's staying here, he's still here, but we talked on that subject forever. And, he kind of, he's not a big believer or nothing, but he's kind of legally inclined and a businessman. He was going, wow, dude, yes, exactly what you're saying is 100% true. Yeah. Got to hand everything over to God, but you also have see, it's one thing to say, "Oh, I give everything to you, Lord," and whatever on your own before you walk into a courtroom or you're walking like this Bundy. I'm talking about the Bundy situation. It's one thing for him to go, "I'm just giving it to God. I'm giving it to God." But then once he enters that courtroom, he doesn't use the the power that God has given him, and he doesn't give warning to those. It's like with everything. It's like people understand that Satan will tell you what he's going to do before he does it. Well, the same thing applies with God. You have to give a warning to them, or you need to set a boundary. You can't say to them, "Oh, I don't concede. I don't do all this kind of horseshit stuff," too, because you're trying to fight man's laws with man's understanding and man's laws. You have to first set the precedence that this is a godly law and it supersedes your manly law right off the bat. Now, they could say to you, "What the hell are you saying? Why are you saying that crap?" A judge could do whatever he wants to after that point. But I'm going to tell you this: if Almond Bundy would, first of all, he needs to call me and we can talk about it. But if he would be man enough to go into a courtroom and say nothing except, "I am a baptized, born again child of God. Anything you have against me, you need to take it to the Father." That's all he needs to do. Once he does that, God will do the rest. He can then deal with his lawyer and his lawyer saying, "Oh, this doesn't pass and this doesn't pass," or whatever. But I would love for him to do that just to see the reaction of the courtroom. Because if that judge, see, here's the thing. If the judge is a godly man, he'll understand it. If the God's a secular man, he will even understand it. Because both parties understand what I'm saying. Both parties understand the maritime admiralty law, and both parties understand baptism. If you really think about everything that Jesus did, if you ever think about anything any of the prophets did or the men of God did, everything had to do with water and baptism. Water has memory. Everything that you see around you has water in it. Water is the most, and is why sound carries through water farther. There's so much about water that people have no clue about. Um, that once you say those words in that place, even the the walls within the courtroom will understand what you're saying. So yeah. But I would love for Bundy to have the balls to do that. The guy's getting online, is crying about this, crying about that. "Oh, I don't know why they're picking on me," all this kind of stuff. Well, they're picking on you because you're putting yourself in those positions. But you're also in a position where you could do what I'm telling you to do, and you would free yourself from these positions. I'm not saying the judge will free you immediately that day. He might. I'm saying do it, because he might just wash his hands of you, as Pontius Pilate did. That's the precedence for what I'm saying. Moses is the other precedence for what I'm saying. But if he just do that, you might see a miracle right away. But I guarantee you that somebody will visit that judge when he's trying to go to sleep that night, and the next day he's going to have a different feeling about it. I guarantee you. So, anyways, yeah, that's what he needs to do. He's in a position right now where if he did it, the whole world would understand what I'm talking about. He would actually be one to help change things and get people's perspective on the truth of the power of baptism and how that's the oldest law in the book and it trumps everything. Everything. Just letting you know. And lawyers, like I said, lawyers are bound by conditions. So they're not even going to go they don't even understand that law, because that's not a man's law. That's God's law. God's laws trump man's laws. Always have, always will. uh, and the most evil of all evil of all evil still knows that. This is why the demons within people they're afraid. That's why when Jesus would come around, he would cast them into the swine, because they know it. And Jesus was the baptism of all mankind through his not only blood, but through the baptism of water. Yeah, it is. It totally is. So, anyways, that's really about all I had today. Was it's just this whole the Bitcoin thing that's been turned to this subject, but um, the Coinbase, anyways, is yeah. You can see that they're gonna. It's like, here's the Bible. What does the Bible say? No man will either be able to buy, sell, trade, borrow, barter without the mark. So even having crypto is still going to lose it. They're going to try to take it. They're going to do whatever you can to get you in a position where you're forced to be masked, shot, or marked, right? That's what they're going to do. Yeah, me and my daughter had a great time yesterday. Matter of fact, we were playing basketball, and I might put a video on here or something. Uh, I put a link on one of the on the comment things or whatever of us playing, and she did a backwards thing, right? Got it right in. Of course, it took a few times, but she actually, the first time she tried it, she got it, and I wasn't filming it. And then I said, "Oh shoot, I should have filmed that." And then it was like we tried probably 7 or 8, 10 times, and then she finally got it. So it's cool. And today we bowled for an hour and a half or so. No masks. A lot of people didn't have masks on in there. They're all seniors. It was a senior bowling because it was during the day, but they were all cool. Everybody was fine. It's a cool place. I won't say what place we were in because I don't want anybody to get in trouble. But, there's like 4 or 5 bowling alleys around here, so great place. Yep, still haven't put a mask on. I just, those guys with those mustaches that that's a guy with some guy with a beard or a mustache who just keep growing it to where. What's that one guy's name? Talks with a deep voice, did the Ford commercials. I can't remember his name. He has the mustache sometimes, or the big mustache. He should grow it down. I don't need no mask. I got a mustache. Yeah. Anyways, I think I'm gonna close out, but you guys all have a good one, and I'll post some stuff on the road, and head on into Arizona and probably New Mexico by tomorrow, and back in Arkansas by Sunday, I think. Drive safe, drive fast. So, all right, guys, hug your kids, call your parents, go see a neighbor, repent and be baptized. Yeah, am I stoned? Do you think so? You fucking moron, dude. I've never done drugs in my life. And I don't like people that say that crap. You know, that's childish games. Stupid crap. Anyways, kids call your parents, go see them, repent, and be baptized. Talk to you later. Bye.